I'm joined by Mickey Burke. This year, Meath hurler. Well, back hurling for Meath again. You've played a couple of games in the championship so far in the Joe McDonagh Cup against Kerry and then against Carlow. What has your season been like? I mean, if you take the two games into as a whole, you're minus 11 on the score differential, so it's not that far away at all. You've probably had the toughest tasks in the first two games, marking Shane Conway, Kerry's star man, and Mouse Kavanagh, Carlow's most noted player. What's the season been like for you?
I suppose personally, just getting back used to playing hurling at a fairly high level. Has been different. It's a different sport, but it's been enjoyable. The Kerry game, we travelled down to Kerry. The conditions were absolutely horrific for both teams, and we started off really well. We're probably a bit unlucky in the heel of the reel, but they pulled away near the end, and we played Carlow there last weekend down in their place as well. We had two away games, and we were very unlucky. Shane, I thought we deserved something. We lost by a point. So like Carlow are playing, I think 1B in the National Hurling League, so they're playing a real good standard. But we were very, very unlucky. Some questionable refereeing decisions, and I'm not a referee basher. I'm not going to start now, but I thought some of them were bizarre to say the least, and not all the added amount of injury time was played either. But look, throughout the years, you kind of get these comes and these things happen. So don't want to moan too much about it, but good standard of hurling, and it's been enjoyable, but disappointing to have two losses on the board.
Yeah, and just to give the sort of lay of the land at the moment, this weekend we're going to see Kerry against Carlow, the two teams that you've played obviously, and your own Meath against Westmeath, so local rivals there. And just in terms of the overall rankings in the tournament at the moment, Antrim are top with 5 points, so 2 wins and a draw. Kerry are next on 4, Carlow with 3, a win and a draw against Antrim there. Yourselves on no points along with Westmeath as well. So heading into this weekend against Meath, or against Westmeath, do you feel like you're in good shape for this one? Obviously you're not going to give away too much in the camp, but do you feel like you're moving okay considering you've been close enough in that last game especially?
Yeah, we've been moving okay. It's going to be a local derby. Westmeath themselves, I don't think are meant to be moving unbelievably well. But again, it's what I mean is that I think they have 2 losses as well. So it's up for grabs. It's a home game for us. So I would be thinking it would be fairly tight. Shane. I couldn't see anything else now. So. Two teams going at it, and it could be a dirty day. So you wouldn't know. It's winter hurling. It's anything can happen.
Yeah, it's going to be a fair spin for Carlow going across to Tralee at Austin Stack Park for Kerry. That sort of thing does make a difference. I would find that if you have to drive 3 or 4 hours before a match, that you could be kind of leggy coming into it. Do you think that'll give Kerry a sort of an edge there, or Carlow playing probably at that higher level in the league and what have you? It's a long time ago now, of course, but would you give Carlow the edge here, or Kerry, based on playing against both of them?
I think Antrim were the standout team in it so far, and then it's a toss of a coin between Kerry and Carlow. I don't know what way that'll go, but you're right. If you're looking into a 3-hour trek across the country, or a 4-hour trek, and then you're going to play a game, that's nearly Kerry a point or two up straight away. So I do agree with you on that. It's very, very hard to call that one now. I don't know what way that'll go. Two good sides, or two, like Brendan Cummins is involved with Kerry, and Colin Bonner is involved with Carlow, two tip men. So the standard of hurling is very good. It's very sharp. It's a pity it's not getting a bit more coverage, the Joe Mac, but on the telly and stuff, because there's a lot of good hurlers in it. I expect that game to be very close. I don't know who'll win that. Maybe home advantage might be, might give Kerry the nod on that.
Yeah, and as a competition, how much do you enjoy playing in this? Because contrasted with years before, when I suppose recently there was that Leinster round robin to actually get into the knockout stages before the more recent version of the round robin came in, and it was reduced to just 5 teams. And then even before that, where you could draw a big team in the first round and that's your season done. Is the Joe McDonagh the way forward as far as you're concerned?
I think it's great. I think it's a brilliant competition. Great standard of hurling. Like Carlow in 1B, they're playing like I think the likes of Limerick and Kilkenny and Wexford and all these teams. You know, that's where we as a county need to get to. We need to get up to that level in the National Hurling League. But I think it's looking like Down and Kildare. I think the two teams from Christy Ring are promoted up to the Joe Mac next year. Obviously, everyone thought Offaly would be in that. Unbelievable win for Down. I was following that on Twitter. It was outrageous stuff. So there'll be another 2 games, and the more games, the better. We have to try and promote hurling in these counties, the likes of Meath, the likes of Down, Kildare, where the pockets are small, where people are hurling mad, but the pockets are small. The only issue I have with the Joe Mac at the moment is that we can't use the yellow ball. I just don't understand that. I'm a big advocate of the yellow ball.
Well, what's the reason given? What's the reason given?
Well, we were practicing with the yellow ball before Kerry, and we had it there every night, and we went down to Kerry, and next thing we were playing with the white ball, and it was only after the game I went to the captain, Shawnee Garrity from Kilskeer, and I said, Shawnee, why weren't we playing with the yellow ball? And he says, it's not in for, he only found out just before the game that it's not in for the Joe McDonagh. And I was, why? And he said it's only for the top tier. And I don't know, sometimes the GA don't do themselves any favours. Now I'd like to get clarity on that, but because it's so much easier to see, and even in training, like it makes a huge difference. My old lamps aren't the best anyway. So I was always, when I heard Donald Cusick talking about the yellow ball, I was saying that's a no-brainer, especially for umpires and linesmen and everything. Like,
yeah, because you see some people on telly are talking about watching on telly, and they found it harder to see it. I remember Michael Dignan tweeted that, but I just thought, if a ball, like even looking back at a replay, if a ball was going over the bar but it's right beside the post, it's very easy to tell, did it go behind the post or in front of the post. So from that point of view, I just thought, even like in training for warm-up, if you're using a ball wall and you have that bouncy yellow ball, I mean, I've no issue, I've never had an issue with that, so I didn't really see an issue with the yellow ball at all. But maybe
I couldn't believe some of the big names. I just can't remember who it was. Was it Joe? I do agree that I think that the announcement of it was strange, in that they basically said a week before the championship or whatever, a couple of weeks before that, we're going with the yellow ball. So I do think the timing of it was strange, but I don't know why people were moaning about it, because there has been some huge decisions. I know we've Hawkeye now in the big stadiums, but there has been some huge decisions missed or made because of giving wide balls and their points, or vice versa. So the balls in tennis and Wimbledon used to be white back in the day, and obviously they were changed. So it just, people are slow to change sometimes, and I think it's brilliant, to be honest.
I think they did announce about a year ago that they were coming, but just nobody was paying attention to it, like this smart ball or whatever. So remains to be seen if that goes into the other tiers as well. I definitely wanted to ask you, what's it like to, like, how good is Shane Conway? We've seen him been brilliant for UCC, and obviously with Kerry he's always putting up big scores. He got 1-4 from play at the weekend, 1-7 overall. And how good is Mouse Kavanagh? Can you just talk about those two players? Yeah,
they're very good hurlers. Very, very talented, very good stick men, very slick, and like I said, they're playing with a lot of good players, so to try and leave space in front of them, and then you have donkeys like me who are just trying to go around and annoy them for an hour, trying to put them off, but very, 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 very slick, free taking as good as TJ Reid or anyone in the county. I don't think the boys miss any frees. And again, if they were just from maybe a more well-known county or a stronger county, and I kind of hate saying that, but to be household names, but very, 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 very good, very elusive players, predators, I'd kind of say. They mightn't be obviously workhorses, maybe, like they're not, but they're using their energy to get scores and to make darts and win the ball and hit it over the bar.